Here's a theme song, you know it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American Brews and Tunes. Shibbity baby down. I'm falling, and she keeps calling me back again. Falling, yes I'm falling, and she keeps calling.
Holy cow!
Me back again.
No, this is no time for music. This is time for celebrating.
This is time for celebrating.
So won't you celebrate with us on another episode of American Brews and Tunes? I'm Steven Johnston.
And I'm Jesse Titus.
And now you may have heard us previously say time to celebrate. I don't know if you remember that or not. But this is a very special episode. Number one, because today is National Beer Day. But not only is it National Beer Day, but this is our 10th episode of American Brews and Tunes. So we're honored to share it with all of you. All of you, 3 listeners.
We really are. It's gonna be a great celebration.
Whereas the Scots would say, it's going to be great.
Is that what they would say?
Something like that.
Okay. So
I think we said last week, but in honor of our 10th episode, we did a themed episode.
yes.
Throwbacks and influences. Influential throwbacks. How about that?
Influential throwbacks. So
for the
ITB.
Yeah. Influential whatever he's talking about. So I recommended one of my big influences that's a very old band for Jesse to listen to.
Yes.
Minor Threat.
And I recommended a brilliant poet of the folk genre, Mr. Bob Dylan, or as some know him by, Robert Zimmerman.
Oh, they were going to say Bob Dylan.
Nope, not Bob Dylan.
All right, Robert Zimmerman. Anywho, but like the music, we also decided to go throwback influential with the beer.
Yes, exactly.
So I picked beer.
Well, yeah, we picked beers that, because whenever we started first drinking craft brews,
Yeah.
so specifically for both of us tonight, this is what both got us into hops.
Yes. I'm having the Dogfish Head 90-minute IPA. It's not the first hoppy beer I've had, but it's the first beer with hops that I liked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For me, I'm having the a Stone's Arrogant Bastard Ale. We actually both tried this for the first time at a bar in
Brighton, Pennsylvania.
New Brighton, Pennsylvania, called the Backdoor Tavern. And when we first had it, it was like it destroyed my mouth.
It's very potent. And Christian Coleman said if I could finish it in under 5 minutes, he'd buy me another beer.
So we actually said that to me too. So we both did.
Yeah. So I didn't get a good flavor of it. It was really intense.
Yeah, but this is definitely a standard that I normally go back to now, as I would assume you'd say the 90-minute is as well.
The 90-minute is a standard, and it's a delicious double IPA from Dogfish Head.
Yeah.
It's called 90-minute because in the brewing process, it was a 90-minute boil.
Yep, exactly. They have a 60-minute and a 120-minute as well.
That 120 minute's a doozy.
It really is.
But enough small talk. Let's crack these beers and explain them for our few listeners.
All right.
We're both using bottles today, so you'll hear a nice little... Ready? 3, 2. All right. Let's pour these and see how they look. Even though I know what they look like, it's been a while, so it'll kind of
we know what they look like, and then we know what they taste like already. But
we'll explain them for you, so that if you're not too terribly huge into the craft beer, maybe this can help spurn a nice lifelong journey for you.
A nice lifelong affair
with craft beer.
Mine looks like it's like maple syrup.
Yeah, his is pretty dark.
It's like a really nice dark brown.
And mine is a nice dark amber, orange. What'd you say?
I would say that's just amber.
Amber.
I mean,
amber is the color of my energy.
Like I would say that mine is like dark amber or maple.
Yeah.
Like dark brown.
Well, what do you say we give the magic word? And when you clank my glass, clank it very lightly because I don't want mine to break like yours did.
Yeah. Steve is using a last year's St. Patty's Day glass from the Flying Saucer in Nashville.
Jesse had the same one, but he broke it.
I broke it while cleaning it in the sink.
That's true.
It was terrible.
But also, there have been times when we've cheered glasses and Jesse's broke my glass.
That's true.
This is thin. So here we go.
Okay.
The magic word.
Very light clink.
Shibbity-beep-with-ow!
Very light clink. All right.
Down the hatch.
I haven't had this in like probably a year at least.
Oh man. Wow. I'll let you think about your flavors. I think your beer might be a little bit more complex than mine right now. So you think about it as I explain this beer.
Oh my gosh, how did I drink this when I first started?
This 90-minute
good.
IPA is fantastic. Oh my goodness. Yes, they dry hopped it quite a bit, so it's really potent and hoppy. But there's so much malt in here. It's so balanced. You can't even really tell that you're being bombarded with hops. It's like hop, hop, hop a lop.
Hop, 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 hop.
Hop,
It's like
hippity hip hop hop.
it's like if there was a
hop on pop.
hop lollipop.
They've got hop drops. It's like cough drops, but it's made of hops. Hop drops.
Did
I learned
have
about that
those
on
ones?
Chopped, the TV show.
Oh yeah, I remember that episode.
Those would be weird, but I would give them a shot. But this beer, if for those of you who are afraid of like hoppy beers or you're not too into hops, I would say give this one a shot.
Yeah.
Because yes, it's more hoppy than a lot of beers, but they balance it out with malts, so it's not so in your face.
Yep.
It's just so balanced and delicious. I'm gonna go in for sip number 2 just to enjoy it.
Okay. While you do that, I'll talk about the my beer. This, I haven't had this beer in probably about a year. This beer is amazing, though. I mean, it is such a full, in-your-face flavor of like pine. Essentially, is like all I taste. It's just pine, and that's probably my favorite hop profile. It's just whenever it tastes like you're biting into a pine cone or like eating pine needles.
Nice.
So that's one of my favorite things about IPAs, and this beer does it perfectly.
I remember the first time I had that one, I did not like it.
Yeah,
I was like, this is too much for me. I can't handle this.
I was like, oh.
I'm not worthy. And in fact, I think it says you're not worthy on the bottle somewhere.
Yeah, on the bottle, on the front, it says you're not worthy.
And if you ever see the Stone Arrogant Bastard Ale, read the back. It's quite a funny.
It's really funny, yeah.
Description on the back. But I'm very thoroughly pleased with this.
Yeah, do you want us to do a little switcheroo?
Yeah, we're gonna do a little switcheroo for a little sipski.
I haven't had a 90-minute in a while either. Oh, yours smells way more malty.
Yours has a way more going on than mine does.
What do you mean? Like more flavors?
More flavors, yeah. There's definitely the hop, but I'm getting all kinds of other bitters that are coming in
this
afterwards.
Is really well balanced. Yeah, this is delicious.
I think they're both really good. I'm more in the mood for this one right now. I'm more in the mood for the 90 minute.
That one's like more syrupy.
Yeah,
and like sweet.
That's a nice for such a big like double IPA. It's very smooth and drinkable.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we already knew that these beers were good, so we don't need to reassure ourselves. Mm-hmm. But for all of you, if you have not tried either of these, I would recommend both of them.
Yeah,
they're both fantastic beers.
And as we say every week, if you have not tried the app Untapped,
try it.
Try it and check these beers in.
You'll probably listen to this on SoundCloud or whatever, but feel free to check out our website at brewsandtunespodcast.com. There you can see all the episodes. We have them all listed, but we've got a lot of bonus content. You can see all the videos, all the pictures. We put links for all the songs. We put reviews of all the beers we've had on the podcast. It's just, I don't like to toot our own horn, but toot toot.
But toot toot.
It's a great website. Check it out. Look us up on Facebook. All the social media stuff, we're on there. We'd love to have you follow us. This week we are going to do a diligent job at keeping up the tradition of the burp tally.
Yes. This week we have raised the stakes. It is not just chocolate this week that the winner will get.
We each pooled our resources and put in $1.
So the winner of tonight will be $1 richer.
Yes, and the loser will be $1 poorer.
Poorer. Will be $1 poorer.
Poorer. All right. Anyways, shall we move on to the albums?
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds like a good idea.
Let's go dense first. Bob Dylan.
Okay.
All right. So Jesse had me listen to Blonde on Blonde.
Yes, blonde spelled with an E.
What a strange sounding title. Oh, there's one burp from Jesse. Two, I guess.
Oh my gosh. I think I might win with this beer tonight.
We'll see.
All right, yeah. So, yeah, Blonde on Blonde. It's a very strange title.
Very strange title. And when you see the album, it's just a picture of Bob Dylan and it's a blurry picture.
Yeah, very iconic.
Which people have
Cover art.
speculated about why it's blurry, because I think it was based on a photo shoot where there were clear shots. So obviously he would have picked the blurry shot for a reason.
Yeah.
What that reason is, I don't know.
Who knows?
He's definitely trying to say something, or he's being goofy. I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
Anyway, this album came out in 1966, so it is old.
It is old, yes.
It's very old. What is that, 50 years? 51 years?
51 years, yeah.
51
Wow.
years. That's really
And
old.
he's still writing music.
Somehow.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But this album was monumental in the shaping of music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bob Dylan was known as like a singer-songwriter, like guitar, folk singer.
Yep. Harmonica, whatever else.
And I want to say this was one of the... It might not have been the first, but I think it was one of the first ones where he was mainly full band.
Like full band, like all electric.
All electric, lots of instrumentation. And this was one of the first commercial double albums.
Oh. Okay.
This actually was a double LP, so if back in the day it would have come with 2 records, which is technically 4 sides.
Yeah, the one that I have has 2 records.
If you buy this, I'm sure you could actually probably find the CD, since you can store so much on a CD as like one CD. But I'm sure when CDs first came out, it was 2 discs. Mm-hmm. It's a long album. It's only 14 songs, but that clocks in at about almost an hour and 15 minutes, which is pretty long.
Yeah, some of the songs are over 7 minutes or over 11 minutes.
Speaking of songs over 7 minutes long, let's delve in with the first song. First song, number 1 on Bob Dylan's Blonde on Blonde. This song is called Rainy Day Women, number 12 and 35.
Yep.
What a strange title.
Yep.
I read that this could be a reference to drugs.
I mean,
And the quote that I read was, Rainy Day Woman is a reference to a marijuana cigarette.
I guess I wouldn't be surprised.
Wouldn't be
some of the
surprised.
lyrics are "Everybody must get stoned" in it.
Yes. But I also read that this was a biblical reference.
I also would not be surprised.
That there's I can't remember which book it is, but the 12th chapter and the 35th verse of that chapter says something about women in the rain.
Okay.
Which it could be, I'm not sure.
I mean, the context of like the lyrics,
Yeah, I don't know.
during like the verses, would suggest that whenever he's saying "everybody must get stoned," he means like literally like stoned, not
death, yeah.
Yeah, to death, and obviously not literally to
Because
death.
they'll
but
stone you when
Yeah.
you're young and unable. So
Young and
they'll
able,
stone you always.
stone you.
And I'm sure Bob Dylan was pretty political. You think he means the government
Or
or the man or society?
what he would say, which goes for like most of his music. What he would say is that he doesn't know how he wrote it.
He was a big champion of the counterculture.
He was
The beatniks.
he was one who did not like the media.
He didn't like interviews.
He didn't like interviews. He didn't like. There's like one interview with him where he like really argues with a reporter. But then, because like during his time, they called him like the spiritual leader of the age, you know.
Yes.
But he hated that. He was like, "Don't tell me what I am." So I think he like told the media like stuff that maybe wasn't accurate.
Maybe he's talking about the media stoning people. I don't
Could
know.
be, yeah.
But essentially, this song, it's a really fun song. It's a fun way to start off the album.
It is.
It's got this marching band, almost like New Orleans, like marching style. Like if you picture a marching band going through New Orleans, you picture that, right?
Yeah.
And the atmosphere is kind of like a crowded room. You hear like people talking in the background,
Yeah.
and it's a really fun song.
This is my karaoke go-to.
Which I was about to reference. Every time we go to a karaoke place, Jesse always does this song,
Yep.
and no one pays attention.
Yep. It's true. Everybody's like, this isn't pop music.
This isn't country.
This isn't country. What the heck?
They also didn't pay attention when we did Bohemian Rhapsody, which is
Well,
probably a good
we
idea.
did that very poorly, though.
And anyone who tries that would do it poorly.
Yeah.
Rainy Day Women, the first song, I gave it 4 stars.
Okay.
Technically 4 out of 5.
Good song.
And moving on, I guess that's really all I have to say about the first one.
Yeah.
Second song is called Pledging My Time.
Nice. Very good song.
This song is a 12-bar blues song, the
Yep.
first of a couple on this album, because it comes back.
Very popular
And it kind of...
song structure of that
Like
time.
the first song doesn't make you think of Bob Dylan entirely when you think of Bob Dylan, but this song more so with the harmonica. Because I think the harmonica comes in pretty soon.
Yeah, like
It has that lead.
Yeah, like if you were to say, "Oh, do you know any Bob Dylan songs?" Like people would probably say, "Oh yeah, acoustic guitar, harmonica, very nasally, weird voice."
And so this kind of is in that same vein. Thematically in this song, he's pledging his time to somebody or something.
Yep.
Like in the third verse, he talks.
my time.
In the third verse, he talks about like a girl
Yeah.
and pledging his time to her. But I'm not entirely sure that he means that in the other verses. I don't know if he's pledging his time to an idea.
I mean,
It's hard to tell.
But definitely, I mean, it would make sense.
And
either
I
way.
suppose this is when I'll talk about what I think about Bob Dylan's themes and lyrics. He can be very specific, yet vague at the same time.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he'll talk about very specific things. Like there's one song where he's talking about giving someone his last piece of gum. And I was like, what the heck does that mean? He doesn't explain. It's very vague at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
But back to song number 2, Pledging My Time. It's a good. It's an alright song.
I really like that song.
I don't dislike it.
I really like all of them though. So.
I gave it 3 3/5 stars.
Oh wait. Oh, I see. You actually drew stars,
Yeah,
but you only drew 3 lines on the last star.
correct. That gives it 3/5 of a star.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm very intentional with my rating
I
system.
love it.
On to song number 3, Visions of Johanna.
And these visions of Johanna.
All right, the very first thing that anyone thinks of when they think of this song is 7.5 minutes. Are you kidding me? Kevin style. This song is really great though. It does feel long when you're listening to it, but I can get past that because it's a really good song. And one of the things that struck me the first time I listened to it is there's this organ or some type of key instrument going on in the background. I don't know what it is, but I really like it.
Yeah. And
It's
it's like to the point where you almost don't really notice it.
Yeah,
Because,
and you have to pay attention to
like,
it.
as you keep listening to the song, it just kind of like becomes part of the soundscape, like part of the background. Like
Yeah.
it's.
You have to really pay attention for it to hear it.
But if it wasn't there, you would notice a huge difference.
Agreed. But I think it's a really cool addition. Whoever had the idea to put that in there, I don't know if it was Bob or some of the session musicians.
Yeah.
The song is about missing or thinking fondly about somebody that I don't know if he's talking about Johanna or if that's a code word for someone else.
I
With
would
Bob
assume.
Dylan, I don't know if he's in the same realm as beatnik poets who like made up stories to get points across.
I would assume that's probably what it was.
I don't know if he's making up a story to get one of his emotions across or if it's actual like an anecdote that he's giving from personal experience. It's hard to say with Bob Dylan, but in this song it's about him missing somebody named Johanna. And also later on in the song he talks about some girl named Madonna.
Yeah, and that's not Madonna.
Yeah,
like
because
how we
every
know
time he
her.
says that I was like, ooh, Madonna.
I was like, wait, this is in the 60s.
I was like, Bob Dylan, you love the Material Girls, don't you? And then I was like, wait a second. We probably got another like 20 years before
Yeah.
Madonna's going to come out.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I'll get to Bob Dylan and materialism later in another
Okay.
song.
Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely not Madonna the pop artist.
Heat pipes just cough.
This song I gave 5 stars,
Nothing to know.
and it's one of the ones I would recommend.
Wow.
I'll give my recommendations, all 3 of them later, in order, because this is not in the order, obviously.
Okay.
Moving on to song number 4. This song is called One of Us Must Know, and then in parentheses, Sooner or Later, in parentheses.
Yep.
Great chorus. The chorus
Yeah.
is the best part of this entire song.
This is one that I figured that you'd probably like.
Oh, I love
Mainly
this.
Also partially because of the drums.
The drums are good, yes. Sooner or later, one of us must know. And
That I really
This is-
try to get close to you.
it's a great song.
It is, yeah.
And I think this is the first taste of the quintessential, iconic Bob Dylan voice.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was on the other songs, but not nearly as noticeable. And when I say Bob Dylan voice, I mean Hey, how you all doing today? My name's Steven on American Brews and Tunes. Everyone's heard it. You've heard so many impersonations, and people like magnify it for their impersonations of Bob Dylan. But this song, you can really hear it, and it works. As far as like the theme on this song, I mean,
it seems like
it's the inevitability of the ending of a relationship.
It seems like they like just started some type of relationship, and they're like, because like in one of the verses, I think he says like, "I'll be the first to tell you if like this doesn't work out" or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then like sooner or later, one of us must know who's been left behind or whatever.
Yeah, and the band arrangement's really good too.
Yeah.
There's a couple different key parts. I think there's a piano and either some type of electric keyboard or organ coming in, and it's very well produced. Well, for the time.
Definitely.
The production maybe doesn't hold up 100% today, but it's for 1966. It's phenomenal production. Mm-hmm. And I would say this is probably my favorite on the album.
Okay, nice.
I'm gonna go up and say that up front. Maybe not, but probably.
I would say that it's one of my favorites as well.
I don't know. When you're listening to it, also you can kind of almost envision Bob Dylan writing this song. You can just envision how this would be him with a guitar and a harmonica and nothing else. Mm-hmm. Even though there's a full instrumentation, you can hear like how it was started.
Yeah.
This is a great song. Like I said, probably one of my favorites. I gave it a 5 out of 5 again.
Yeah.
And it's another one I would recommend. And again, later, once I recap all three, I'll give those in order.
Okay, nice.
But that was song number 4. Sooner or later, one of us must know. Must know
that I really did try to get close to you.
Get close to you. All right, this song's called "I Want You."
You got a nice story about this song.
Not really.
A sad story.
What's
at the binder factory.
Oh, well, yeah. This song used to come on at the binder factory that I used to work at. For a summer, I worked at a factory literally making 3-ring binders.
Sounds like a joyful time.
It was not fun. And not only that, I was doing 40 hours there and 20 hours at Five Guys. So I was pretty busy that summer, I guess. But they played the song and it was annoying. Somehow, I still ended up giving this song a 3-star rating.
Wow.
Because after actually sitting there and listening to it, I don't know. It's got a faster tempo, and it got stuck in my head, and that kind of made me like it more. And this also has a Bob Dylan voice on it.
Yeah.
I want you.
I want you.
I want you so bad.
And especially in the verses.
It's Bob Dylan doing the Bob Dylan voice. And it's And you might be wondering, how could Bob Dylan not do the Bob Dylan voice? But there's plenty of songs where he doesn't. Like, if you ever listen to Lay, Lady, Lay.
Lay, Lady, Lay, yeah.
He doesn't even sound like Bob Dylan.
Lay,
Lady, Lay. He's got a real smooth voice in that song.
Across my big brass bed.
So he doesn't always have that iconic Bob Dylan impersonated voice that people always... Like, if someone has their impression, that's what they do.
Yeah, I mean, to that note, a lot of people argue that he has, like, one of the most emotionally driven voices.
Yeah, it's very iconic. So, I've also heard a lot of people say he can't sing. He's got a terrible voice.
Exactly, but I think they're wrong.
He can definitely sing. He hits those notes. It's just...
It's just the timbre of his voice people don't like.
And it was unique. No one had sang like that before.
Yeah.
Or since, I guess. At least, not really.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
But back to I Want You.
I want you...
It's definitely a song about, like, longing for a lost lady, I think. Yeah, because, like, in the end of the first verse, he says, I wasn't born to lose you. And so, obviously...
born to lose you. Yeah, just
he lost somebody, and it's... Yeah, he wants somebody.
Somebody back.
So, even though I like this song way more than I did The Binder Factory, the chorus is still annoying.
I want you.
That's the part that, like, aggravated me before.
I want you so bad. Yeah.
But like I said, 3 stars. I'm sure my bias had a lot to do with that.
Still a catchy song.
It's still catchy. The next song is better. It's called "Stuck Inside of Mobile" with the Memphis Blues again.
Another 12-bar blues song.
Yes, it is, and I think he means I'm guessing Mobile, Alabama. What would you say about this title? It's long, right?
Yeah, it's very long.
And the song is equally as long. Just over 7 minutes. Come on, Bob. Come on, Bob. That's 2 songs so far. We're only 6 songs in. He's got 2 songs over 7 minutes. But this song's still pretty good.
Yeah.
It's got this nice little like organ keyboard part in the background that's like, again, like I was saying about the other keyboard part that blended in. It is one that you don't really hear unless you're like looking for it.
Yeah.
But in the way of The Big Lebowski, it really ties the song together.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he like intends this. There might be some humor in this song. Like I envision
Probably,
stuck inside of Mobile, Alabama, and I don't really. Maybe it's a small town with the Memphis blues, which was a big sound at that time. Like so, he's in a small place, longing for something else. I'm guessing. I'm not really sure, but I always kind of chuckle. He's like, "Oh, mama!" That's the pre-chorus.
Really the end?
And like Jesse and I just sang it, he does the Bob Dylan voice on like big time on this song.
Yeah. I just
So
like
much.
the "Oh, mama."
It's funny. I don't know if he means it to be funny. Do you think? Like in my mind, this is what Bob Dylan's thinking.
He's like,
Man, I'm gonna write a song, and everyone's gonna think it's funny when I get to the mama part.
well, first of all, I think he talks like that.
Where's your proof?
Video interviews of him when he was this age.
Well, maybe he like put on a fake voice for the interviews. He's like, he's thinking to himself, "Hey, self,
Put on a fake voice. No, because he still sounds kind of like that, but it's not like, hey,
I don't want to be stuck in Mobile when I'm trying to find the Memphis blues again."
oh gosh. What'd you give this one?
I gave this 4 out of 5. I really liked this song.
Good song, yeah.
The next song is called Leopard Skin Pill Box Hat.
Now, we should probably look up a picture of a
I know
leopard
what it
skin
looks
pillbox
like.
hat.
I know what it looks like, I can tell you. When I was researching this, they talked about the hat that Jackie Kennedy or Audrey Hepburn wore. And when you see that, it's kind of like it's like this real flat-looking hat that
Yeah.
it almost looks like a round box. Like if you get like a round box of chocolates, imagine like a round cardboard box with leopard skin print.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, just imagine a hat box.
A flat, like cylindrical
A cylinder
box.
with a flat top, and it just had leopard skin on it.
This song is another 12-bar blues song. And I also noted that Bob Dylan goes ham on that pentatonic scale.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys know anything about music, that's anytime you're talking about like rock and roll and blues, that's the pentatonic is huge in the blues.
Well, you just take out the third
Yeah,
and
like B.B. King
the sixth.
was big on the pentatonic.
Oh yeah, like any blues song, like whenever they do a solo, it's usually on a pentatonic scale.
But anyways, going back to like the hat,
Yeah,
it's a goofy looking hat.
yeah, definitely.
People don't wear those today. They're goofy, and I think Bob Dylan's making fun of it.
yeah, probably,
time.
yeah,
And I think, because obviously if Jackie Kennedy, Audrey Hepburn were wearing it, people would look to that and say that's a fashion decision. That's the next big thing.
yeah, that's very true.
And so I
actually.
think Bob Dylan's making fun of people who follow those trends.
that makes sense.
Like there's one line in the song where he says, "It balances on your head just like a mattress balances on a bottle of wine."
And I love the melody too there.
And it's just talking about this girl who,
She always seemed to me like a pompous,
shallow,
type
almost
lady,
materialistic.
Yeah.
And how he like was commenting on how she's just like super absorbed by her leopard skin pillbox hat and how that's the most important thing. And there's even one line where he goes to a psychiatrist and he's like, I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
He says, "Psychiatrist, my girlfriend has this leopard skin pillbox hat." And the psychiatrist replies like, "That's bad for your health. Stay away from her."
Yeah.
So Bob Dylan defies her and goes back to the girl only to
Defies
find
him,
the psychiatrist there because
her,
because he was interested in the pillbox hat.
Yeah.
And so it's like him saying like the shallowness, people will see this
And, like,
idea of like
want to get it.
want to get it
at all costs.
They'll see
or,
this
like,
idea of what popularity, fame, wealth, picture of success is, and everyone's going to want that.
yeah.
And I think that's what he's making fun of. I gave the song 4 stars. It's a really funny, catchy song. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
On to the next song, Just Like a Woman, number 8. This song, unlike the past couple songs, is much slower and kind of more ballady.
Yeah, and
And,
he doesn't have that type of Bob Dylan voice in this one.
I think he does, but it's not as present.
It's not as pronounced.
The chorus is nice. It's very memorable. If it wasn't for that chorus, I don't know if I'd like the song nearly as much. Like that's the big hook in the song. She aches just like a woman. One of my favorite parts is at the end of the chorus when the arpeggiated guitar comes in. This guitar plays right after each chorus, and it leads you back into the next verse. And it's just a really, I don't know, it's very pleasant. I don't know.
What do you think about the bridge on that song?
It's not the most memorable part of the song for me.
Okay.
I don't dislike it.
It comes right after that scale part, though.
But what I found interesting in this song is the last chorus, where he switches the pronoun from she to you.
Yeah.
So it makes the song a little bit more personable. So again, is he talking about someone in his own life? Bob, you sly dog? Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about, Bob?
Bobby, who are you talking about, Bobby?
But for him to start out saying she and then intentionally switch to you, there's a reason.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
And the reason is not the season.
What?
I don't know, it rhymes, so I was going with it. I gave that 4 out of 5. I quite like that song quite a bit. I would go back to it and listen to it.
Nice.
Number 9 is called Most Likely You Go Your Way, parentheses, and I'll Go Mine, end parentheses.
Yeah.
It's got a weird, like, bouncy sound to the song. And it's strolly, waltzy, like, tumbling feel. I don't know how to describe that feel. It's weird.
Zippity zappity, zippity boppity.
Zippity zap, zap, bop, bop, zap.
It's like scat.
But in the beginning of the song, there's a riff that's played on the harmonica, but it's doubled by, I want to say, a trumpet.
Yeah.
To kind of give it some nice depth. But I like how he doubled that instrumentation. That was a nice move. Good job, Bob. The Dylan voice again.
Yeah.
It comes back big time. I'm not too huge on the verses on this song, actually.
Really?
I don't. But the chorus I really like. Kind of like a couple of previous songs. It sounds like an inevitable relationship that's gonna fail.
Yeah.
Like a relationship that's doomed. Not that Bob Dylan wants to end it based on the lyrics. He's kind of trying to draw it out, but things are going wrong and they're talking about it and yelling and it's just not going well.
Well, yeah, because like the chorus is like, or the pre-chorus is, he says, "Time will tell just who has fell and who's been left behind.
Yeah.
When you go your way and I go mine."
Yeah, so he's talking about how it's bound to happen. The relationship's bound to end, but they're holding on for some reason. But like the title says, most likely you go your way and I'll go mine.
Yep.
I gave the song 4 out of 5.
It's tough to give a song 5 out of 5.
Yeah. And I think I might retract that and go 3 4/5.
Okay.
So that's, I officially...
Minus one line from that 4th star.
On to song number 10, which is called Temporary Like Achilles.
Achilles, yeah.
Achilles. I say Achilles.
Okay, I say
like
Achilles.
I got my Achilles tendon.
Like Achilles heel, yeah.
But this song's slow and bluesy. How bluesy, do you ask?
Very.
It's not 1 bluesy. It's not 10 bluesy, or even 11 bluesy.
Or not 13.
Yes. It's 12
12
bar
bluesy.
It doesn't follow the 12-bar blues pattern to a T, but it's definitely in there and you can hear it.
Yeah, for sure.
Unfortunately, I think the song's forgettable.
I would actually probably agree with you. It's one
Every
of
time
my,
I listened to this album, it was almost like hearing the song for the first time because I
just didn't remember it.
It didn't stick. It doesn't have anything that sticks out to you.
It was definitely definitely one of my least favorite on the album.
I agree with you there. I think that is my least favorite. Thematically, it's a song about him trying to woo a girl who just isn't having it. So, I mean, it's a relatable theme. I'm sure people have gone through that before.
Yeah.
But all in all, like musically, it doesn't have that much going on. There's nothing memorable. The hook's not there.
Mm-hmm.
I gave the song 2 3/5 stars. So that's pretty bad rating for this album.
Yeah, that's just over 50%.
Anywho, on to song number 11, which is called Absolutely Sweet Marie. Marie, whoever you are, Bob Dylan loves you. This song's fast. And this beginning, like there's a keyboard part that comes in at the very beginning. And I don't know about you, but it kind of reminds me of the Beach Boys. Just like the feel, not like the particular, like any like specific song.
Anything like that.
It's just like I feel like Beach Boys-esque almost. I don't know why. And it might just be me. It's what I think of. Maybe like pop music of like the 60s or 70s. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's a really, really fun sound. And unfortunately, like the last song, there's not much of a hook or chorus, like to make the song stand out too much to me. But because in the verses, there's so much, like it's just like a really catchy, like fun sound. That was enough for me to give it 4 stars.
Nice. Wow.
Which I think I overrated it, but I'm not gonna go back on this one because
Not gonna retract this one.
I really enjoy hearing this song, and there's nothing I can't even remember how it goes, to be honest.
But whenever it comes on,
I've
you're
listened to
like,
this song
yes.
for 2 weeks straight, and I can't remember, but I do know that this is a really fun sounding song. So 4 stars.
Nice.
Song number 12, which is called Fourth Time Around. The thing that I think sets this song apart is at the very beginning, it comes in with this classical, like finger-picked guitar, like a nylon string guitar,
Yeah.
which is really nice. And it comes in, it's slower, and it's got more of a flowing feel. I don't know if this is true, but I read that the Beatles song Norwegian Wood is based on the melody in the verse.
Okay.
And if you listen to the verse on this song, you can kind of hear it. So
kinda hear it a
maybe,
little bit.
definitely, like the Beatles, John Lennon, and Paul McCartney were very aware of Bob Dylan.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Who
They-
wasn't at that time?
People who lived under rocks,
People who were
Eskimos, Eskimos,
Eskimos. Yeah, I guess people not in America or
maybe the Australians. I don't know.
civilized places.
Anyway, whether the Beatles based their song on this or not, I'm not sure. It's kind of cool to hear them side by side. Maybe we'll see if we can post a link for both videos
Yeah,
on this.
yeah.
So I think that it might be, but listen to them both and you decide. Thematically, this song is about a strenuous relationship. Unfortunately, I'd say
Fourth time around.
it's forgettable. Also,
Okay.
it's a good song, but it's forgettable. I gave it 3 stars. On to the next song, which is the penultimate song, the second to last.
Yes.
It's song number 13, obviously 5 Believers. And I'm not going to bury the lead. I gave this 5 stars, and it's another one of my recommended songs.
Nice.
I don't know if this was intentional, but it's kind of funny that this song has the number 5 in it, right after the previous song has number 4 in it.
Yeah.
So
that's
the last
true.
song was Fourth Time Around. This one's obviously 5 Believers.
I never noticed that before. That's pretty
I
funny.
noticed that immediately. And
That's
I don't
pretty
know if
funny.
it was intentional or if it just happened. It's hard. It's really hard to say.
I mean, it has to be intentional.
This
right?
song is faster and like
Yeah.
heavier, a lot more rock and rolly than
Yeah.
anything else on the album, I'd say. And I even said like there's this riff on the song that if you added some more bass and some more fuzz to the guitars, it would sound like Black Keys or like the White Stripes.
Yeah.
Like that line.
Yeah.
It's a cool guitar line. I think it's really ahead of his time almost.
Yeah.
I don't know if Bob Dylan wrote that or if some of the session musicians wrote it.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either.
Who knows? But that guitar lick doubles the harmonica line, or maybe the harmonica line's doubling the guitar line.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean,
either way,
doesn't
they're
matter.
doubling each other. But
They're
either way,
they're playing the same thing.
that line rocks. And again, this is another 12 bars blues form again, like some of the other ones that happened on this album. But this one is the fastest 12-bar blues form. Like I said, that song's 5 stars and a recommendation.
Nice.
On to the last song, which is called Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands.
How long is this song?
11 minutes and 18 seconds. Way too long. Come on, Bob. We've had 2 over 7-minute songs, and you're going to do this to us now? 11 minutes?
Not long enough.
Fortunately, this song is really good.
Yep.
Like
Sad-eyed lady of the lowlands.
I said before, this is a double album, so it means 2 records, so 4 sides technically.
Yep.
On the second record, this took up the entire 4th side. So that means, if you're sitting there with your record, you flip it to the 4th side, there's only 1 song, and it's this song because it's so long.
Yeah, so for like that time, that would be
That's unheard of.
kind of strange.
Very
Or,
strange.
like weird for the listener.
So it's a long song, but it's really catchy. It's a love song to his, I can't remember if it's his then girlfriend, fiance, or wife, but it's a woman he ended up marrying named Sarah Lowndes. And so her name kind of talks about low. I think that might be the connection, Lowndes, which sounds like lowlands almost.
Yeah.
I think. But as far as the song goes, I think the biggest thing it has going for it is the structure. The verses kind of start out real mellow and relaxed and kind of reserved instrument, like with the instrumentations. And it builds up and builds up and builds up until he gets to the chorus. And then it kind of cuts out a little bit where he's like, sad-eyed lady of the lowlands. And right after that, it gets big.
Yeah.
and all the instruments come in, and it's almost like a climactic moment.
No man.
And after that climactic moment, it goes back into the verse and starts that same structure over again. And that happens time and time again because with 11 minutes, you can fit that in there a lot.
Yeah, that's kind of his writing style.
It really is. The hook comes back so many times. It's really catchy. It's really a great song. This was almost a song I would recommend, but it's not. I gave this 4 4/5 stars out of 5.
Because of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a couple songs I liked better.
All right. Yeah. So what do you think overall?
Well, let me give my top 3 first, and then I'll go
okay.
overall.
Okay.
My favorite song would be... Hold on, I got to flip to go back and see what it's called again. My very favorite song is One of Us Must Know Sooner or Later. The song's absolutely fantastic. Check that song out. So catchy, so good. My second favorite song is Visions of Johanna. Even though it's so long, it's still a fantastic song. And the third song I would recommend is the 13th song, obviously Five Believers. And that's solely based on that it's just... Essentially, it's a jam. I don't know. It's a jam. It's a really fun rocking song. Overall, the musicianship is fantastic on this album. I read that Bob Dylan started doing sessions and tracking in New York, and then stopped and came to Nashville and finished everything here and almost restarted everything. I think there's only one song he did in New York that they kept, but he came here.
This was through Columbia too.
Yeah,
Columbia
fantastic musicianship. You got to remember, this came out in 1966. Nothing like this had happened before. If you listen to early Bob Dylan songs like Blowin' in the Wind compared to this, it's a world of difference.
Yeah, definitely.
Overall, I give this album 5 out of 5.
Wow.
Because it's iconic. It's set a huge trajectory in the music industry. It shaped how music it was afterwards.
Yeah.
Now, saying that, it's not my favorite. I'm not going to come back and listen to it regularly. I'll listen to it more than I did before. But I'm very glad that you recommended this. I think it's an album that everyone should listen to at least once.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, enough of that. Let's speed it up quite a bit. How about that?
Yeah. Now, just as that album has kind of set a trajectory for maybe folk music or like softer music, this album, or actually, what is it? Is it
2 albums?
2 albums?
And I
or
think
3
last week.
albums?
I think last week I had recommended their...
Well, yeah, you recommended their entire discography, but then I said, no,
because you didn't...
just one album.
Just you didn't realize that their entire discography comprises of 2 7-inches and one... I think it's like 3...
It's like 9 in songs.
Yeah, 2 7-inches and an album with 9 songs. So their entire discography is essentially like 16, 17 songs maybe?
It's probably about probably less amount of time than this Bob Dylan album.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Where Bob Dylan, I'd say like the average song length is 5 minutes on that album.
The average song length is probably 1.5 minutes.
Yeah,
on
Minor
this
Threat
album.
is like 1.5 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, so why don't you delve in?
Yes. So Minor Threat. The first 2 7-inches is what I'm going to be starting with. Minor Threat was a band in the 80s, the 1980s.
In Washington, D.C.
Yeah, they were a punk. One of
the hardcore punk scene.
Yeah.
I told you how they got their name, right?
Because they're all under 18.
Yes, minors. They're all minors under 18.
Yep. So they're a minor threat, which is actually what one of the songs later on is called, which is very good.
And they're super. I'd say they're pretty political, socially conscious.
Definitely, yes.
Activists.
They definitely are. And just like the first song is called Filler.
Filler, yeah.
And essentially, this song, they're like bashing people who waste their time on stuff that they deem a waste of time.
Yeah.
Essentially. And also, there are quite a few songs to get through, so I'm going to be kind of like commenting briefly on most of these.
Yeah.
I give this one 3.5 out of 5. Just because, like, I've...
Are you saying that song's filler? That joke deserves a cheers.
I will say, actually, first, even though I already gave that rating for that song, I'm just gonna kind of say a few general things about these two, technically, I guess, 3 records.
Yes.
The first 2 7-inches, if you were not well versed in punk or like how other punk bands have like written songs, these 2 first 7-inches would sound the same all the way throughout.
And This came out in like 80, 81, 82.
83, maybe.
I think they were almost done by 83.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
If you had your baby punk ears listening to this record, most of the songs would sound the same.
yeah, so you have to listen to it
Would
quite a
sound
few
like
times.
literally the same.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't like. It's. I mean, like most of the songs, he kind of like screams and doesn't sing, and so most of the songs, it seems like he's screaming at the same pitch.
And they have like the same feel, guitar, drum, bass.
Yeah, the same.
Sonically, they're similar. Power chords, fast
Yeah.
drum beat, him scream singing almost.
Yeah. Like in the song, the first song in Filler, at the end he's like, Filler! Filler! And just like screams. Just Filler at the end.
Yeah.
But
What about
anyway,
song number Deuce?
song number 2 is, I would say, probably one
Man,
of the...
I don't want to hear what you're going to say about this song.
I heard this song before you recommended this album to me,
Yeah.
which is saying something.
And the song's called I Don't Want to Hear It.
Yep, the song's called I Don't Want to Hear It. I gave this one 5 out of 5, and it's also one of the songs I'd recommend.
Good choice.
Just because it's like that classic punk attitude.
Yeah. I don't want to hear your
Essentially, the song is about not wanting to hear other people's BS.
Yeah. All you talk is something in lies.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it. When you gonna realize it? I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
No, you're
Yeah. Yeah, because like the chorus is just,
No.
I don't want to hear it.
None
I
of
love
your
your
bull
BS. I don't want to hear it. I love your BS. I don't want to hear it. It's just like
yeah.
that same thing over and over again. But it's like really catchy, really fast, and it's it's only like a minute and 10
It's a
seconds or
short
something
song,
like
as
that.
most of these songs are. Yeah.
But it's so good though. I just love that.
I love that song. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Good choice in recommending that one though.
Yeah. Track number 3 is called "Seeing Red." Really great chorus. I love the chorus on this song. I'm seeing red. I'm seeing red. And I'm not exactly sure what he's like talking about in this song.
He's angry about something.
Just angry.
Yeah.
I give that 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
The next song is a song that kind of defines who they are as a band.
It defines how a lot of people live their liff after this.
Yeah. Yep. The song's called "Straight Edge."
And did you know about the straight edge movement much?
Well, I knew about it because you told me about it.
Do you want to explain it?
Like before you told me about it, I had no idea it existed.
Okay. Well, straight edge was like it originated in actually originated from this song. They lived a straight edge lifestyle, which meant no, and it kind of varied from person to person, but based on this song, it's no drinking, no smoking, no sex.
Yeah.
They wanted to be clean, clear, and productive, and not be clouded by any of life's distractions.
Used for pleasure.
Yeah, and so it's talking about being straight edge,
Frivolous things.
and people took this to heart,
Yeah.
almost to the point where you would go to a punk show and there would be straight edge punks there, and if they saw you like smoking a cigarette or drinking a beer, they would go and beat you to a pulp.
Yeah,
almost hospitalize
Because this
you.
was in the 80s when the punk scene was
Violent.
Was very violent.
Like people got hospitalized because they would drink, like that kind of thing.
yeah.
And that's not what Minor Threat was going for. They're just
Really?
saying we choose to live this way because it helps us be clear and think.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
They're
that,
not saying beat up people who don't think the same as you. And
Yeah.
in fact, that's very
Well,
against
actually,
the punk rock
that's
mentality.
actually very against what Minor Threat writes about in their
Yeah,
music,
big
too.
time. They weren't happy with the violent like punk scene.
One of the later songs.
Bottle violence, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, "Seeing Red," great song. I give it 4 out of 5.
Straight edge, you mean?
I mean, Straight Edge.
Yeah,
Yes. Oh, I give it 3.5 out of 5.
fair enough.
I like the song.
It's not my favorite, but
it's just
it's
meh.
crazy that they wrote this song and then people took it so to heart that
Yeah.
they defined a generation,
Yeah,
almost
it's
like a
kinda
punk rock
crazy.
movement of being straight edge.
obviously on this show we cannot be straight edge.
Yeah, unless this is O'Doul's non-alcoholic beer.
No.
O'Doul's!
No, I won't drink to that. How about to Stone and Dogfish Head?
Yes.
Shippity-beep-a-doo!
Mm.
So
Next song. We gotta keep this Mama Jama moving.
all right, next song is called "Big Man, Big Mouth."
Is it? I thought it was called Small Man, Big Mouth.
Actually, you're probably right. I just wrote down "Big Man."
Yes, it's called Small Man, Big Mouth.
Yeah. So that actually makes sense. That makes a lot more sense.
Big Man, Big Mouth.
Because essentially, it seems like this song is about like people.
Big Man. I've heard this song so many times, so I know that's Small Man Big Mouth. But when you said that, I was like, Big Man Big Mouth.
Whenever I read it on my phone today, I saw the big and Big Mouth and just like wrote big down.
Oh man, that's funny.
Whenever I wrote the track.
Yeah. Yeah, they're talking about like a guy who's obviously a small man but a big mouth.
He he talks a big game but doesn't follow through with much, and
Yeah.
essentially a person who says he has convictions but does not have convictions. And that's kind of the same thing like what you were just talking about, like their mentality.
Yeah.
It's like they want to be clear, they want to actually do what they're saying they're gonna do. But anyway, I give track 5, Small Man Big Mouth, a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah. Not Big Man Big Mouth. That's not a song.
No, that's not a song. That's
We
not
should
a song
write it
yet.
We should tell our favorite Nashville band Tree Shelf to write a song Big Man Big Mouth.
Oh yeah, you know what? We could probably get him up on the phone sometime.
Yeah, we'll get Tree Shelf on the phone and get them to talk about Big Man Big Mouth.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe like episode 11 or 12. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll have a conversation with them.
We'll have to try and actually get in touch with them.
Yeah.
It might be kind of tough. So.
Onward.
Track number 6. Screaming out the wall.
Like screaming out a wall. That's a heavy, fast song.
This is essentially a song about dealing with people who are ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
Because like one of the lyrics in the verse is like talking about a guy like building a wall around himself and then like refusing to come out or look over it.
Yeah. So you're screaming at him trying to get through?
Yeah, trying to
You're
get through,
screaming
and, like
at
trying
the
to help him out, and he's just like, no,
Not listening.
nope,
Yeah.
not gonna do that. I give that song 4 to 5.
You know what I say about that? That's ignorant. That's just ignorant.
Why are my hands so sticky?
Why is this?
Why is this boss so sticky?
I don't know why you went to that reference.
Because you said that's just ignorant, and I thought
Michael Jackson.
Why is this boss so sticky?
So I was referencing Michael Jackson, and Jesse did some random Saturday Night Live skit about sticky bars. We'll post a video of the sticky bar skit.
Yeah,
But Michael
so
Jackson
funny.
used to say, "Oh, those people are so ignorant. They don't know anything. They're just ignorant."
I just thought of
Why is this boss so sticky? It feels like I'm shaking hands with Spider-Man. It's a Bobby Moynihan skit, and it's really hilarious.
So funny.
Oh, man.
Anyway, back on track. Sorry for that little gress there.
We gress.
Track 7, Bottled Violence.
Fight.
This
fight,
is.
Fight, down. Fight, down.
It
Fight,
seems
bottled
like-
violence.
It seems like this song is, in general, a song against drinking.
Yeah, because drinking
Because
leads
drinking
to,
leads to, well, for some people, leads to
some people
them
leads to
being
violence,
violent.
Yeah.
You know?
They're against drinking and they're against violence,
Yeah.
which is kind of odd being in the hardcore punk movement.
Oh, excuse me.
Gesundheit.
I didn't sneeze. Well, actually, that just means good health, so thank you.
Yeah, is there ever, like, do you think people will ever come up with a reply to a cough?
Maybe we should right
Like,
now.
bless you or Gesundheit? Like, when you cough, say, breathe it in!
Breathe well.
Breathe well!
Take a breath.
Good breathy.
Good breathy. Good breaths.
Good breath.
Good breaths only.
Good breathe. How about good breathe?
God breath.
God breathe.
God breath instead of
No,
God
God
bless.
breathe.
God breathe.
All right, so that you heard it here. If somebody coughs, reply to them by saying "God breathe."
Instead
Like-
of oh bless you.
Here's an example.
God breathe, man.
Oh, thank you so much.
Kind of like saying God, comma, breathe, man.
Yeah,
Get it? Yeah.
I
okay.
get it.
Nice.
All right.
You heard it here first on episode 10, celebrating National Beer Day on American Brews and Tunes.
National Beer Day. We're gonna put that up on Urban Dictionary,
We should.
just like our other word.
Yeah, we talked about it in
Broop.
an earlier episode, brooping.
We also should put shibbity beep dow and gress on Urban
Oh
Dictionary.
yeah, we should. Shibbity beep dow would just be an exclamation
It
of
is.
happiness.
Yeah. But we gress again.
Yes, again.
Continue.
On to track 8, a song about who they are.
Who are they?
They are a minor threat.
We're just a minor threat. And the song's called Minor Threat, right?
Yeah, the song's called Minor Threat. I gave this song 5 out of 5, and it is one that I would recommend. So good.
Agreed.
So catchy. The chorus is so catchy. We're just a minor threat.
We're just a minor threat. Very good, very good song.
Moving on though, the 9th song is called
Uh-huh.
Stand Up.
Yeah, this one is not my favorite.
I kind of liked it.
It's not bad. It's just meh to me.
And it just seems like the common theme of the album is they're just like, we need to stand up for what we believe in.
I agree.
Anyway, on to track 10, this is a song that I have no idea what it's about. It's called 12XU.
It's called 12XU.
Yeah.
12XU.
If you can enlighten me as to what this song is,
I have no idea.
I do not know though. I mean, it's catchy.
I like the song, and in the chorus he says 12XU, real fast. 12XU.
No idea what it means. I gave it 3.5 out of
Let's
5.
just guess what that means. Like the 1, 2 is like you're counting down.
I thought it was like 12 times U, so 12 U's.
But he says 12XU, so it's not 12XU. It's got to be 1, 2. Like I'd imagine someone's counting up to something or counting down. And XU would mean like
Maybe X is a substitute for a explicit word.
FU?
1,
Like,
2 FU.
or X like is when you like cross something
Kill
out.
you.
Yeah, I'd say like cross something out, like
1,
Kill.
2, kill you.
like 1, 2, kill you. But there's no way. There's no
Pull
way.
out a little ray gun.
That's not what they mean. It's just
Anyway.
funny to say.
Anyway, that wasn't my favorite song. Nah.
The next
What
song
else?
is pretty darn good.
Oh, you know it's good, dude.
Hold on. There's something in my eye.
Oh,
Oh
Steve-
gosh.
Steve,
Ow.
is something in your eye?
Got it.
Okay, good.
Why do you ask?
Wow, coincidence. Track number 11 is called In My Eyes.
Oh, good.
Huh, interesting.
What a coincidence.
Anyway,
Funny.
I gave this song a 5 out of 5, and guess what?
recommend.
This is the longest song on these first two 7-inches.
And how long is it?
Not even close to as long as Bob Dylan's songs.
Well, nothing is as close to
It
that.
is 2 minutes and
And?
49 seconds
In
long.
fact, that's shorter than most pop songs you hear on the radio.
Yeah, and it's the longest song on the album. Also,
And it's
this
probably,
is...
I'd say it's the most unique song.
Yes, that's what. This is the first very different sounding song on the album, which I loved.
Mm-hmm.
Great, perfect. And he's kind of singing, more like talking,
It's more like talking in the verses. You tell me,
but it's still
you
kind
want to
of
be
singing,
different.
though.
You just need
Yeah.
the excuse.
You don't mean it calms your nerves.
You just think it looks cool. Really cool.
So essentially, this song's about the straight edge movement again.
yeah,
like,
you think that it looks
you-
cool. You,
you-
think it
you-
means
you-
something, but it,
You don't mean it calms your nerves like smoking or whatever. You just think it looks cool. So it's just like you're like super immature. Like
yeah.
you have no idea like why you're doing this, and
You tell me it
shouldn't
makes no
do it.
difference. At least I'm trying.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts of the entire song.
Yes.
And then it goes back into the chorus.
It's
And
in my eyes. The chorus is real fast. He's like, "It's in my eyes. It's in my eyes. Dun, 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 dun. It's in my eyes. It's in my eyes." Very good song. Rage Against the Machine covered this, and it's actually a pretty good cover.
Really?
I still like Minor Threat's way better, but the Rage version is good.
Yeah. That I give that song 5 out of 5, and
Good
I
call.
would recommend it.
Next,
Track number 12 is called Out of Step (parentheses) with the World.
great
and
song.
This is just a song being straight edge, not conforming to the norm,
It's about being out of step with
And-
what the world says.
and like essentially how difficult that is.
Yeah. Their next album is called Out of Step.
Yeah.
It's like a 7 or 8,
9 songs.
9-song album, really short. But if you look at the cover album, which we'll post a picture of it,
Yeah.
it's a herd of white sheep and then a black sheep hopping away from them. So that
Yeah.
sheep is out of step with everyone else. But great song. I really, really identify with this song. If your personality doesn't fit in with the rest of the personalities, if you like things that don't fit in with what everyone else likes,
I definitely feel that quite a bit sometimes.
if you're in a big crowd and you just don't feel right, you're out of step, this song is for you.
Yeah.
So this song is an awesome message. I would say it's their best song, in my opinion.
Okay. I wouldn't say so, but
Well, we're different.
you
I'm out of
also
step with
you
you.
also
I'm out of step with you.
you also grew up listening to this though.
Yeah.
So it has more meaning for you. I've only been listening for 2 weeks.
Agreed.
So, so that song is very good. The next song is called "Guilty of Being White."
Yes, and people have given this song some flack, some racist flack.
Yes, but the way I see it, it's not racist.
No.
The way I see it is they are kind of commenting on the fact that people are looked down upon a lot of times for things they can't change. So in this case, I'm guilty of being white.
Yeah.
like apparent, like as in like being white is a bad thing or like inherently bad, you know. And so essentially in the song he like, lists off a bunch of stereotypes of like white people. Like he's like, well, I think one thing he says, he's like, I'm a racist, guilty, and like it's kind of like in a sarcastic way. He's like saying like, well, I'm white, so I'm a racist. Obviously, like I'm guilty of that because I'm white. You know, and so it's kind of like a really racy,
It's
kind of
ironic.
political song.
Yeah, he's saying obviously he's
It's
not
like obviously
guilty.
he's not, but he's like saying that that's in general how like a lot of people view.
And he's saying like he's not
people.
pointing out white people in general. He's saying don't make someone guilty based on their skin color. Like
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
a song about being looked down upon or like being judged upon by something you can't change, such as your skin color.
Exactly.
So
It's nice.
I really
Nice
like
song.
the song. I really like it. It's
Guilty
It's
of being white.
yeah.
It's a fast song again.
It's very very interesting that they would choose, because like that's like different than everything else I've talked about in this album.
Yes, it is.
So whenever I first heard that, I was like, oh, this is kind of weird.
But well,
it
I'm
was
not
good,
really
though.
sure what Washington D.C. was like.
I guess
as
yeah.
a
I
mixture
don't know what it was
of,
like in the 80s
race.
either. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
But there were some rough parts in D.C. I know that.
It's an interesting song nonetheless.
Yeah. Next song.
Track number 14, Stepping Stone. This is the most different song on the entire album, I think.
I agree.
Mainly because there's a melody. And the stepping stone. Hey, 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 hey. And
How
the
does-
stepping stone.
Does this song end kind of odd? Also,
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Like just with him doing that. Oh,
It's like weird voices, yeah. It's like a
lot of reverb.
like a pickety third at the end or something.
Yeah.
Or was that at the end of the second one?
Can't remember, but it's a
But
weird
anyway,
sounding song.
I like the beginning though, because they did the same thing that NoFX did on the Decline,
Yeah.
and like took down like all the treble and bass and like just left the mids,
Uh-huh.
and it started off
It
like
sounds like if you're hearing a
radio.
radio in a movie. Yeah, it's a pretty cool effect.
Yeah, but I gave that song 5 out of 5 because I really
All right.
liked it. On to their second or last album,
Out of step.
called Out of Step. It's a 9-track album.
Nice
I'm gonna
belch.
kind of go through these kind of quick because I actually like the first 2 7-inches better than these songs.
Okay, I get that.
Just in general, like I didn't recommend any of these.
oh, there's.
I mean, they're good, but
Okay, yeah.
Since I'm just gonna do 3 songs, I like the other ones better. So on to Out of Step, track number 1. This song is called Betray.
Oh my goodness. What's your first note?
This song has fast drums.
Yes, at the very beginning, he's like there's a guitar part, and then the drums come in,
Yeah.
which I did not do it justice
Yeah.
at all.
Well, I mean that's all right.
But the drums are so ridiculously fast.
Yeah.
It makes my brain spin.
And one thing that I would say about this album is that you can definitely tell that they kind of defined their sound a lot more.
Yes.
I may not particularly like this album as much as the first 2 7-inches, but they
They
definitely
changed, like
they definitely changed.
They found a
lot.
different sound. Yes.
Yeah, and by that, like, it's not much different, but not every single song sounds the same on this album.
And when you listen to this album, it's actually a little bit more closer to Fugazi. Do you know them?
You've told me about them, yeah.
Fugazi is a couple of the members from Minor Threat, including the singer Ian MacKaye. After Minor Threat broke up, he started that band, and they're more of like a post-hardcore punk band. They had a much longer longevity than Minor Threat did. Some of the songs on here you can kind of feel are going towards Fugazi.
It seems almost like they're going more away from like that really fast, always punk,
Yeah, they're
and like more towards like reggae almost.
almost growing up. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But moving on.
But anyway, that song was good. I mean, obviously it's a song about betrayal.
Yeah, obviously.
I gave that 4 out of 5. Track number 2, It Follows.
What a great movie. What a great...
I was actually about to say that. And this was the inspiration for the movie,
No.
It Follows.
If you guys haven't seen the movie It Follows, you can find it on Netflix, probably DVD, Target, wherever. This movie came out, I want to say late 2016. Is a horror film, really unique, pretty darn good. Check it out.
It's definitely really good. Just a little aggress there.
American Brews and Tunes gives it the stamp of approval. If you don't like horror movies, do not check it out. It's really creepy.
We should make a stamp.
Okay, let's do it.
Like with a thumbs up and say American Brews and Tunes approves.
Let's do it.
That'd be kind of fun.
We'll sell the stamp too.
Is there a place where you like make stamps?
If you guys know a place where we can make stamps, let us know, please.
Yeah. Comment below. Or send
On
us a
Facebook.
text because you probably know us.
Yeah, if you listen to this, you probably have our phone number. Oh, goodness. All right, moving on.
Anyway, it follows what I was just saying. I gave it 4 out of 5. It seems like it's kind of a song about the fact that like your problems follow you, like no matter where you go, or you, like, I don't know, like people you don't like or ideas that you disagree with, like they follow you and you like can't get away from them, essentially.
Word.
Exactly. Good song. Track number 3. It's called "Think Again." It is the first song where there's actually kind of a guitar line in the beginning.
Instead of like power chords.
Instead of just power chords or just on the snare or something like that. So that's exactly why I said they're kind of defining their sound more.
Yes.
I thought it was pretty good. A super nice bass line in the bridge, and essentially it seems like it's a song about not being ignorant.
Which is a nice reminder on American Brews and Tunes. We like to say, don't be ignorant.
Yeah, I mean, just as a general PSA, it's nice to not be ignorant.
Educate yourself.
Educate yourself.
Put yourself in situations that you normally wouldn't be in.
Yeah.
Meet people who you normally wouldn't talk to.
I mean, that's how we started this podcast.
Yeah.
One day we were like, hey, why don't we start a podcast? Let's do something new.
Yeah. So, do new things. Meet new people.
Yeah, do it up.
Live your life. Be the change you seek.
LYL. Live your life.
LYL. Live your life. Lil. At American Brews and Tunes, we like to say this. Lol. Live your life.
Whoa. Anyway,
Like T.I. So live your life. Hey.
we gressed way too much.
Yeah, we gress big time, man.
Big time, man. The next song is called "Look Back and Laugh."
Ooh,
It is
good
track
song.
number 4. It's definitely very good.
Is there some laughs in the song?
Yeah, he might. Anyway, this song is, I mean, about like being very nostalgic about your past and like remembering your past, or like a bad relationship and being like, one day we're gonna look back and laugh at this. Essentially.
I think this song's in the movie SLC Punk.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
That would make sense. Anyway, track number 5.
It's a little slower, right?
Yeah, a little bit slower.
But like you were saying, track number 5.
Yeah, track number 5. It's called "Sob Story," and I would say that this song is kind of sarcastically feeling bad for someone's situation.
It is.
Pretty much like, oh, boo-hoo, like, look at the situation you're in. Oh, well.
You're a sob story.
It's like, oh, it's so sad. Sorry about that. And then it's like, just deal with it. Yeah. That's kind of what they're saying. Track number 6. "No Reason."
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean? No idea.
There's no reason. I don't know.
I liked it. Very much liked it.
It's a good song, but I don't know what it is.
I gave it 3.5 out of 5 because, like you said, that's one of those Bob Dylan songs. It's kind of just one of the ones that
Just pass over.
I'm not going
song.
to come back to.
Yeah. Next song?
The next song is called "Little Friend."
Not bad.
I gave it 4 out of 5. Mainly because it's actually probably one of the faster songs on this album. And essentially, the little friend he's referring to is essentially this kind of like angst that he has.
Mm-hmm.
Like whether it manifests itself through anger or through whatever else. The next song is a repeat,
a re-recorded version.
Re-recorded version of.
It's Out of Step. The song.
It's called "Out of Step." Yep, on the last album. I actually think I didn't recommend it, but I gave it.
You gave it a better
4 out of
rating this
5.
time,
yeah.
though.
I did, yeah, because I liked the newer version of it.
Yeah. But enough about that.
Again, it's just a straight edge song. Song about being out of step with the world, which they do still say, but they took it out of the title.
Word. Yeah.
Which is weird. But the last song.
Whoa, did you hear that burp?
I did, yeah. It was actually kind of like forceful.
It wasn't forceful, I guarantee, but it would sound like a lion.
It sounded forceful, though.
I did not force it.
No. I mean, it sounded like.
Oh, like I had a force within me.
Like a force within
I felt,
you.
as it came out of me, I felt like a lion.
Like you were growling.
Yes. And I don't mean like a female lion who goes out and hunts.
Lionesses are tough.
I know,
Maybe
but
you do mean that.
No, I mean like when you think
you
of
mean it like
the
Mufasa.
MGM, like MGM the lion that you see at the beginning of the movies.
Yeah.
Rawr.
Or how about the beast whenever Belle leaves the castle?
You mean Beauty and the Burp?
No, I mean Beauty and the Beast.
Whatever.
I just saw the live action movie recently.
Is it good?
It was very good, actually.
All right.
I was
Okay.
very surprised. They
think
added a lot of songs that I didn't like,
That's okay though, I guess.
but they also added a song that I did like, which the Beast sang after he let Belle go.
Okay. Would I like it? You think?
I mean, did you really like the Disney movie when you were a kid?
A decent amount, yeah.
You'd probably still like it.
Yeah. I'll give it a try. We'll see.
We digress. Yes, the last song is called Cashing In. This song is hilarious. It's so funny. You know how funny it is?
How funny.
He laughs in the lyrics. He says, ho, 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 in the lyrics. It's hilarious. It's so funny.
Ho ho ho.
This is essentially a song about them cashing in on a tour or a show or all the money they make off of people. And I think it's kind of an ironic song because I believe it's kind of talking about how the music industry is kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Or like they don't like it. It's a song about how the fact that they do not like the fact that the music industry is so driven by money. And at the end of the song, he actually references the Wizard of Oz.
Uh-huh.
Because in the song, he also talks about a yellow brick road. And then he says, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. So where am I? But anyway, I gave this song a 4 to 5. And I thought the laughing in the beginning, the ho-ho-hos, were so funny that I recommend it.
You recommended this song.
I'm recommending 4 songs because there's
so
so many.
do you want to recap those songs?
Yep.
By chance?
The first song that I would recommend
Yeah, go ahead and flip through your pages. Let's see what you recommend.
is definitely I Don't Want to Hear It.
Okay,
That's number 1.
great song. I don't want to hear it.
An amazing song.
Yep.
The second song that I would recommend is track number 11, In My Eyes.
Oh, good choice. Good choice.
Yes, definitely. And the third song I would recommend is track number 8, Minor Threat. And of course, the one that I just talked about, Cashing In, because I think it's hilarious.
Interesting. Not the songs I would pick. Some of them are, some of them aren't. But
Well, I would assume,
good choices.
I assume you would pick I Don't Want to Hear It.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I would definitely pick Out of Step. But as far as like the throwbacks go, what do you think?
I thought it was pretty good, man. Like, it was actually very interesting to hear like kind of earlier punk like from the 80s.
Yes.
And
like some of the things that influenced all of the punk bands to come.
so yeah,
Like
exactly.
even
exactly.
Bad Religion, No Effects, all those bands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's super interesting.
Yeah.
And
And I was very interested to hear Bob Dylan because I know I wouldn't say I'm super familiar with Bob Dylan, but I know all
like
the
his big hits.
Yeah, I know the big hits. This album was monumental.
Yeah.
And it's really awesome to hear.
I was actually kind of worried that this was going to be like another Broken Bells situation.
Yeah. Oh, Broken Bells at least have like the Perfect World, one really good song.
Yeah.
But Blonde on Blonde, really good album.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Remember, the Bob Dylan album came out in '66.
And this album came
And
out.
this album came out in '83, I believe. So those are only, what is that, 17 years apart?
Yes.
So think about this for a second. Those of you who were born in the 90s or whatever, think about an album that came out in 2000 and then an album that came out this year. That's the same amount of time between. And so like, think about how big of a shift that was from Bob Dylan to Minor Threat.
Huge.
Yeah, just in an immense shift.
Yeah.
And like that's one of the things that's like really cool about music in general. Is that it's always changing, is that it's always flowing, it's always, taking new curves, eroding a different part of society or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, whatever he's saying.
Whatever metaphor or euphemism is that a word?
What, euphemism is a word. I don't know what it means though.
I think I'm using it right. Maybe
Whatever
not.
metaphor, like
Whatever
what's your whistle?
whatever idiom you want to use to
Whatever
describe
floats your boat.
whatever trips your trigger.
Whatever sinks your ship.
Whatever schmugels your splugel.
Whatever carries your kite.
Whatever strings your guitar.
Whatever yaks your yo-yo.
Whatever blinks your light bubble thing.
Whatever
blows your bubble.
Whatever bisects your bicycle.
Whatever washes your hair.
All right, we went too far.
Whatever snicks your snack.
Whatever mivies your movies.
Whatever bloodles your bloodles.
Whatever shoops your poops. This isn't going in the podcast. We're gonna laugh about this later.
This podcast is dedicated to Shoop.
Yeah.
Whatever shoops your poop.
All right. Yeah, but moving forward, let's give some recommendations for next week.
Okay.
What I'm going to recommend for you is an album called Make Your Mark by a band called Living with Lions. And it's kind of interesting. I hadn't heard about this band until college.
Okay.
Our friend Daniela recommended that for me.
Yes.
So I think it's something you're actually going to enjoy.
Shout out to Daniela.
Shout out to Daniela.
Now, I'm going to recommend you an album by a band you have heard before.
Uh-huh.
But I'm fairly certain you haven't heard much of this album.
Yep.
It is the band Spoon.
Spoon? Wasn't it me who got you listening to Spoon in the first place?
It was actually.
Interesting. Which album is this?
This is not Ga 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 Ga. This is They Want My Soul, is what the album is called.
Interesting.
So I will recommend that to you.
Okay.
Such a good album.
All right, so we got albums for next week. Do we need anything else for next week?
You know what? I don't think so.
Before we finish our beers for the week, let's tally up these burps. See who won.
Did you get my last one that I just did there?
All right, let me count your last one.
All right.
All right.
All right, drum roll,
5, 10,
please.
15, 20, 25. You got 28. Jesse has 28. Steven had 36.
Dang it.
Steven is the winner of $2. He's a champion.
Steve, congratulations. Whoa, there's another one.
There's another one, so there you go.
All right, well, hey, cheers to the 10th episode and cheers to National Beer Day.
And may there be 10 more episodes because we literally don't have more fun than doing this. We love doing this podcast.
Literally, I mean, this is a blast. If you guys are enjoying it, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much. Please share with your friends if you really like it that much. That would mean the world to us.
Yeah, I mean...
Just give us like a share on Facebook. That would just make my day.
Or since you already have our number, just text us and say, hey,
dude, heard
Jesse,
the podcast?
Hey, Steven.
Heard the podcast? Good.
We really like it.
Yeah. Because we don't get that much feedback, and we're sad.
No, we're not.
We're not sad, but we would love to hear if you guys are actually listening to this.
Yeah, it would just be nice.
It'd be nice
to be able to hear that.
Because we will record this just for ourselves if no one listens.
It's true, because as Kevin Smith said, if nothing else, you can look back on a podcast and listen with your friends. And
as a memory.
And just have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So, anyway, this last cheers goes out to all you listeners out there.
So here's 10 episodes, and here's the 10 more.
Yep, here's the 10 episodes, and here's to, I don't know, 100 more, 10 more.
100 more, 10 more, whatever. All right, thank you guys, and here we go.
Here are the magic words.
Shibbity-beep-a-dow!
Cheers, everybody. We'll see everybody next week on American Brews and Tunes.
Here's a theme song, you know it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American Brews and Tunes. Shibbity-beep-a-dow!